Hello, my name is Critter Bear, and today I'll be showing you how to make Dagorath LARP arrows. I don't have any quite finished just yet, but I will show you how they're made at the end of the video. It's not the only way to make LARP arrows. There are plenty of tutorials online, but this is the way that I found is the easiest and cheapest with relatively local supplies. To start off, what we're going to use is a piece of CPVC pipe. This you can find at any local hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's mostly. I believe it's a 1/2 inch. I'm not exactly sure what schedule it is, but usually I can just recognize it out of all the PVC pipe just automatically in Home Depot. Now what this will do is this will make your arrowhead modular to where if your arrow shaft bends, breaks, or splinters or anything of the sort and it needs to be replaced, you don't lose the arrowhead itself. You can remove the arrowhead and put it on a different arrow shaft so that you can keep on using it. But the way this will work is this will slide onto the arrow shaft and you'll tape it down and it's pretty good to go once your arrowhead is done and built on top of this. But as the CPVC pipe stands, if you tried to put an arrow shaft through it, it would go straight through because there's 2 holes. And it would actually stick into the next person, going straight through the foam and everything. So what we need to do is we need to grab something solid. I use a penny because it's the cheapest and most available thing to me, and it works pretty well. But we're going to grab a penny and we're going to put it on top so that the arrow does not travel through the CPVC pipe. But as you might be able to see, you probably won't be able to see, it's not exactly to size with the CPVC pipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to build up on the CPVC pipe so it has a nice flat area to rest on. I've seen a lot of people use duct tape and they'd wrap it around over and over and over again to build a base for the penny to sit on. But what I use instead is some fun foam or some crafting foam. And it's a lot lighter, and it's a lot easier, and it's a lot faster. Specifically the type of crafting foam or fun foam that I use, which you can get at any Joann's or Michael's or Walmart if they have a crafting section, pretty much any crafting store. I use, instead of the just straight up crafting foam, I'll use this sticky back crafting foam. The measurement that I use for this square of fun foam, which you can cut out the fun foam whatever way you want, is just over 2 inches. It's 2 inches a little short to where you're going to want a 2 inch or just over 2 inch square. Now I'm going to peel the back off of the sticky fun foam so that it can reveal the sticky side, and I'm going to place it on the CPVC pipe. And I'm going to wrap it around, like so, to where it meets the other side. And now you have a nice base to work with here. It's a little bit thicker now, so the penny can sit nice and flat and flush with everything on top. Now the way that we're going to attach the penny is we're just going to use some duct tape. What we're going to do is we're going to take our duct tape, we're going to split it in half, like so. I'm going to rip off that piece, and you're going to want to have it where the seam is on the CPVC to hold it together. Right there, like so. Okay, and we're going to place it on there and wrap it over the top, just like this. It's about halfway down the other side. Set aside, and now we're going to press the duct tape up against it. Press it down, fold it over. We're going to do the same thing to the other side of it. And then we're going to do one all the way around so it holds everything together. around the top, mind you. And, oh. There you have it. Now I have the penny part taped down. And what we're going to be doing next is we are going to make sure that it fits into our base. This is a pool noodle, and I'll have you know this is the only time that I will ever use pool noodle for anything that I build, because it is a lot weaker than blue foam. Whenever blue foam is a lot stronger, it's also a lot heavier, and it takes a lot more time to craft than if I just use this for just the base of the arrow. But since arrows aren't supposed to hit anybody with the side of the arrowhead, and it is just to build the base, it's okay to use a lesser foam for it. But what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this fits in here nice and snug. Pool noodle can vary in the size of the inner diameter of the hole, to where if your modular arrowhead right here is not thick enough, you can always take a thicker piece of crafting foam and wrap it around to make it thicker to fit the inner diameter of this hole. This one's a little bit bigger than the actual PVC pipe that we're working with here, so what we're going to do is we are going to put a bigger piece of fun foam on the outside. Alright, now the bigger piece of fun foam is on the outside. We are going to take some cloth tape and cover the entire thing. This is cloth tape. You can get it at Walmart or Academy or any place that sells sporting goods, really. But you're going to take the cloth tape and you'll rip off a piece. Mainly what we're doing is we're going to cover up this duct tape part, because the adhesive that we will be using does not like to stick to duct tape. And it also holds the fun foam together pretty well, because while the crafting foam or fun foam is sticky, it's not as sticky as it should be. It's not going to really stay. If you wrapped it around here and just left it for an hour or so, it'd probably start peeling away from it because it's not all that sticky. So you kind of want something to hold it all together. And you're going to just wrap one layer all the way around, like we did before. Alright, now I have the basic part of that. We're going to move on to the pool noodle. What we're going to be doing next is I'm going to grab my Joann's ruler. This you can buy at Joann's or Walmart or at any place that sells fabric. The pool noodle is cut out to 2 inches wide, to where I'm going to now mark out 1 inch in the middle. And I'll be showing you what we're doing there, but basically we're going to taper it to make it look a lot nicer than if it was just flat. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to put the ruler on top, grab my Sharpie. I'm going to mark the edge, but I'm going to mark the edge by just rolling the ruler across it like this, making sure that it's still 1 inch all the way through. There we are. Now we marked it halfway through. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to take a razor and I'm going to cut a taper out of it. Just like this. And then mark it with the, or I'm going to keep it to the edge of the line and to the edge of the pool noodle. go. Now we have something that's nice and tapered looking. It'll make the arrowhead itself look a lot better. And what we're basically going to do is we are going to put this in here. How we're going to do that is we're going to cut open a side, just like that. We're going to open it up. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to put this in here like this. And the way that we are going to attach this in here and keep it in place is we are going to adhere it with DAP contact cement. You can buy this at Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's. I would suggest buying at Walmart if you have the choice, because it's a lot cheaper than if you buy them at Lowe's or Home Depot. What you're going to do is you're probably going to want to stir it up just a little bit. This one's already been pre-stirred up, so I don't have to stir it up all that much. You're going to open your can. You're going to take this here, and whatever brush you use, I just use a piece of blue foam, which I'll be explaining that in a little bit later. Or you can use whatever brush you want. I just use this because it's not expensive. But you just apply the DAP all along the sides here. Just the sides where the cloth tape and the fun foam are, not where the PVC pipe is. You want to apply it in a good medium of not too globby and not too thin. If it's too globby, it'll take forever to dry, but if it's too thin, your weapon will fall apart. So it looks something like this at the end of it all. And you're just going to put that aside. I usually just like to set it up like so, just on top of itself. And then we're going to grab your pool noodle. We're going to dap all on the inside and these two edges here. So I'm going to take this part of my brush here, and I'm going to apply DAP all on the inside. It's going to be a little bit harder to see. There we go. You got all your DAP on there. You're going to set that aside, and while that is all drying, we're going to move on to the next step. Whenever you're waiting for the DAP to dry, what you're going to do is you're going to wait for it to dry for about 5 to 10 minutes in Houston, Texas. It depends on where you are, what weather you have that day, what time of day it is, if it's warmer or colder or anything, to where it all depends on what the weather, humidity, and temperature is like in your area, how long the DAP is going to take to dry. What you're going to do is you're going to wait for it to get tacky. Once it's tacky, then it'll stick to itself. Whenever you put two DAP items together, it sticks to itself and it's a very strong bond, where you don't want to DAP only one surface or anything of the sort. The next step is you're going to take a piece of Ozark Blue Camp Pad. This you can find at Walmart. That's really the only place that I've found where you can find Ozark Blue Camp Pad. You're going to take that piece of pool noodle, you're going to take a Sharpie while it's drying and everything. You're going to put the edges together, so since it's not quite dry yet, it can come apart really easily. And you're going to place it on the blue foam. And you're going to just Sharpie around all the edges to make a cap. Now, if you are using puzzle mat or a stronger type of foam, you only need to use one layer, but since I am using blue foam, I need 2 layers. There we go. Separate these edges again so they can dry properly. Now I'm going to cut these out with a pair of scissors, but I'll go ahead and fast forward through that.